Hi, my name is Zach Lum, hip and knee surgeon and chair of the Diversity Advisory Board at AAHKS. We're honored to celebrate the rich heritage and significant contributions of our Hispanic and Latino members in the field of hip and knee arthroplasty. As a unique and underrepresented group in medicine and orthopedic surgery, their journey reflects the drive of the immigrant spirit and the power of diverse cultural experiences. In this video, they'll share their stories, mentors, and visions for the future. Join us in honoring their remarkable contributions and embracing the diversity that strengthens our community.
My name is Carlos Higuera. I'm originally from Colombia. I was born in Bogota, and I had the privilege of coming as a student to the University of Alabama at Birmingham at the Mayo Clinic as an elective rotation, which really helped me to understand really the advantages of being trained in the United States and how really in the United States we were leading the way, particularly in the research arena. And that's really what led me to come and do a postdoc fellowship at Johns Hopkins in biomechanics. And from there, I was able to do an internship in general surgery at the Cleveland Clinic, where later I was able to train in orthopedics. And then I did an adult reconstruction fellowship at Rodman Institute in Thomas Jefferson. And then I went back, been practicing at the Cleveland Clinic ever since.
I'm Jordan Carolina Villa, and I was born in Caracas, Venezuela. I did my med school in Caracas and Universidad Central de Venezuela. Then I came to the United States and I did some research at Hospital for Special Surgery. Then I did my surgical year at Columbia University in New York City and my residency at Howard University. After that, I did my fellowship in arthroplasty at NYU in New York. And now I'm assistant professor at George Washington University in Washington, D.C.
My name is Carlos Lavernia. I trained at the University of Puerto Rico, the University of California, San Diego, and Johns Hopkins. I did my general medicine training at the University of Puerto Rico and then went to the University of California, San Diego, where I did my general surgery, my orthopedic surgery, and a fellowship in academic medicine, surgeon scientist training fellowship from the NIH. Following that, I went to Johns Hopkins, where I did my adult reconstruction fellowship.
Hi, my name is Victor Hugo Hernandez, and I was born in Colombia. I trained in Colombia, my med school, and then I went to Puerto Rico to do my residency program.
I'm Dr. Claudette Lejam. I am a hip and knee surgeon at NYU Langone Orthopedics. I was born in New York City to a Dominican father and an Italian-American mother. And I did my orthopedic training at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, and then a fellowship back in New York at the Insall Scott Kelly Institute.
My name is Michele D'Apuzzo. I was born in Venezuela. I came to the United States in the year 2000.
My name's Rafa Sierra. I'm an orthopedic surgeon specializing in hip and knee surgery at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. I trained in Universidad Javeriana in Bogota, Colombia, where I eventually graduated. And in 1997, I moved to Miami, where I completed a research fellowship at the University of Miami, and then subsequently started my residency at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester in the year 2000.
My name is Hernan Prieto. I was born in Colombia, South America, where I completed my medical school and orthopedic residency at the National University of Colombia. And then I came to the United States to complete my fellowship training in arthroplastic surgery and musculoskeletal oncology at Mayo Clinic and University of Florida.
My name is Alex Vitech, and I am from Mexico City. I did my residency there in Mexico and then came back to the U.S. to do my fellowships.
I'm Nicolas Pusey. I'm an orthopedic surgeon from Cleveland Clinic. I'm currently the research director of the Cleveland Clinic Adult Reconstruction Research Group. I was born in Argentina. I trained at the world-renowned Hospital Italiano de Buenos Aires, and then I completed my training at the Cleveland Clinic on my joint arthroplasty fellowship and orthobiologics.
My journey to orthopedics and arthroplasty was very different. So because I did my med school back home in Venezuela, when I came to the United States, I was considered an international medical graduate. So the path I took was a little bit different. When I came to the United States, I came with a suitcase and my dream to becoming an orthopedic surgeon. I didn't really have any family members here in the United States or any connections in the field. So for me, the challenges were the adaptation process. So I had to adapt to a new country, to a new culture, learn a new language, learn about a new health system, and also build up my connections. So all that was challenging.
My journey towards arthroplasty was, I would say, was a little bit different, primarily because I was a foreign medical graduate. So that required me to actually do 2.5 years of a research fellowship before I applied for orthopedic residency programs. That being said, I think that it was a wonderful journey. I believe that it provided me a different perspective coming into residency, and those 2.5 years of research have actually helped expand my academic career.
I think that being a woman was more of a challenge than being someone with a Latino background, because at that time not a lot of women went into hip and knee arthroplasty, so I was being steered more towards hand surgery. And I think I really surprised everybody when I expressed my interest in hip and knee arthroplasty.
So the journey to arthroplasty that I had was different in regards that I trained in Buenos Aires at the Italian hospital, and now I'm practicing in Cleveland. What I have to say, if I have to look at the benefits or challenges, I will look at the positives. I think I take the best of both worlds. I was able to train in an environment, and then I had to adapt into a different one, taking the good and the bad of both. If I have to say, well, my Hispanic background, how does it help me? I take all the positives, the heart, the connection, the warmth, the ability to have that empathic care of others in that friendship and interaction. I think it's something that I carry with me. I cherish and I cherish and I will carry my whole life.
My mentors and role models were several and different. I had Wayne Akeson, which was the chairman of orthopedics at the University of California, San Diego, which was fabulous. But my real mentors when it came down to the Latino portion of arthroplasty were Miguel Cabanela, Jorge Galante, both of which were tremendous, incredible orthopedic surgeons that developed trend-setting implants and techniques.
I have the opportunity to work close to Carlos Lavernia as a mentor. And then I met several people who helped me, including Rafael Sierra, Ruben Hernandez, and multiple friends like Dapuzzo.
I have to thank many of mentors throughout my career. Many of them were Hispanic, others were not. But I would like to mention that, of course, having had Carlos Lavernia in Miami be the first one who actually believed in me and gave me the first job to do my research with him, and then to help me get into Mayo Clinic was important. And of course, I would not be here without his help. In addition to that, the mentorship that I received from Miguel Cabanela, who was an orthopedic surgeon working at the Mayo Clinic at that time, was incredible as well. But of course, I need to thank also many other mentors at the Mayo Clinic and outside of the Mayo Clinic that are not Hispanic, such as Dan Barry, Dave Luella, and Mark Pagnano.
I think it's important that as the Hispanic community grows in the United States and become almost 20% of the population, even non-Hispanic orthopedic surgeons need to understand this culture. I think with technology and different advances like AI, you can reach out to this community. And it's important for me to explain other orthopedic surgeons how my community behave, and also how can I learn from other minorities communities.
I think that being able to identify with your patients and have a common culture helps a lot, easing patients into many times having surgery. And the Latino community is very particular about their doctors. They respect their doctors in their culture, and they really like to be able to access their physicians, and I think that is very important to them, and that's something that we as a community can provide to the Latino patients.
There are some challenges to treating a patient population that doesn't speak English. Mainly, it's because a lot of those patients tend to be from a different socioeconomic background, so they don't have the resources that some other patients have. So you need to pay attention to that. The other challenge is that many of the patients who I take care of who speak Spanish don't have really good health literacy. And not only don't they have good health literacy, some of them are actually illiterate. They don't read or write, either in English or Spanish. So this poses a challenge because a lot of our education for patients is written down or sent through technology. And you assume your patient will be able to read it when they go home, whether it's in English or Spanish. So it becomes a problem because if the patients can't read, they might be embarrassed to tell you that, and then they don't really understand what's going to happen around their surgery. So you have to spend a little bit more time with those patients to make sure they understand. Operation Walk is one of the ways that arthroplasty surgeons can give back to folks who live in other countries. Operation Walk has branches that serve many different places. I've been fortunate to go to El Salvador to take care of patients who need hip and knee replacement through Operation Walk, and it's a really rewarding experience. But I think the most important thing in terms of giving back to the community is taking care of patients here in the United States who are Latino, who really need someone who can communicate with them and who understand them.
The American Association of Hip and Knee Surgeons has had a pivotal role on the Hispanic and Latino community regarding arthroplasty, where we have had in the last decade multiple activities for education, mission work. We also have been able to improve research and innovation, not only that will affect our patients in the US, but also in the rest of Latin America.
I think we have the responsibility of doing more outreach to the Hispanic communities and influence students and residents to consider a career in arthroplasty and offer mentorship for them.
The future of Latinos in arthroplasty, I believe, is bright. There is no secret that the Hispanic population in the U.S. is growing, not to mention the fact that Latin America is vast and has a very large, diverse population. I believe that we can do a lot of good things that had a huge impact in this particular population, and I'm glad that AAHKS gives some room for us to communicate these things and also to increase the communication and innovation and research for this particular population.
I think we stand on the shoulders of giants, many of them that are well recognized for their contributions to arthroplasty: Miguel Cabanela, Carlos Lavernia, Eduardo Salvati, Jorge Galante. I mean, these are giants in our field, and I feel that they've paved the road for the future of Hispanics and Latinos in arthroplasty.
I think there is only one future, and the future is all of us together. I think we should all come and think about like what's the future of arthroplasty, what's the future of our patients. And that comes with a way of just coming together as a unit, making sure that not because we come from one training or we come from one background or one institution or because we know somebody, we bring value. I think it's the fact of recognizing value where value is and making sure that we give equal opportunities. We'll have to prove ourselves, all of us, and that's the journey that we are. But I think that's what I envision for arthroplasty, an even field, a place where we can all come and work and contribute despite our differences, and where we can potentially get rid of the small clubs or silos, and make sure that we're coming together as a field to make a lasting contribution.